Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to another video. This is BJ and today we have in our studio Mr. William Miller, who is from UK and a friend of me. I was discussing with William last month, so we should do an interview regarding the question answer about UK lifestyle, jobs, and how's the life there as compared to UAE or Dubai lifestyle. I think I would like to mention here that Mr. Williams has been the professor, or what we say it, like a British Council or the people.
I was once, a long time ago, an IELTS examiner.
Yeah.
This is a long time ago. But I've
you
never
was.
been a professor.
Yeah, you means like examiner of IELTS.
Examiner.
British Council or IDB?
And British Council.
British Council. So on the basis of what basically you check the performance of the people?
Yeah, I was just marking speaking and writing tests, loads of them. And the reading and the listening at the time was not auto-generated, so we had to look at that as well.
Yeah, that's great. So for real, I would like to discuss some few questions, if you don't mind, Mr.
Yeah,
William. So
go ahead.
if you are open to that
Yeah.
conversation. So a few different times, friend of mine are living in UK as well, in USA, Canada. And when I talk about like moving there from UAE to there for the job purposes, not for study, because the time is already over. I have done already a lot of things in past. So now I want to move there for the work purposes. What opportunities do you think I have from UAE, from India, and from another countries if the people are directly moving for the job purposes?
Very few opportunities.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I'm not going to go into detail about this, but there have been a lot of new immigration laws that have been put into place by the new government, which are going to restrict entrance into the UK, particularly if you haven't got a student visa. So it means there'll be a lot more stringent processes about your application. They are looking to stop a lot of immigration as well. So the thing is that you need to get a sponsor, and you also need to look at jobs that are not already being fulfilled. So if you have a speciality or a specialism in something that is not readily available, that counts a lot. There are jobs in nursing and care homes. Again, it's much better if you've got a health qualification or some health experience in over there, then you stand a small chance. But again, there's new regulations coming into play where nursing homes are going to have and care homes are going to have a bigger proportion of nationals that are working in there rather than immigrants. So I would just check it all out, because there's a lot of new laws coming into play.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. As you mentioned earlier, like there is nurse opportunities and all that. A lot of few people have the thing in their mind, like when they go in the visit visa there, they can convert easy and they can get the employer, they can find the jobs there. Is that a real thing, or they need to look forward for the employees directly from their own country?
I would say they need to look for employees directly from their own country. If you land in the UK or any other European country, you might be able to try and find a job. But if you overstay your welcome and you overstay your visa, then you'll be deported and you won't be allowed back. Particularly, there's more measures putting in to kind of catch, let's say, for a lack of a better word, people who do overstay the welcome, and that's why the visa process is getting a lot more difficult to enter.
True.
You know, you've got to demonstrate how much money you have, you've got to demonstrate your departure and your arrival and departure date, etc. You've got to demonstrate a lot of things before they consider to accept you into the UK. So if you arrive, it's not guaranteed that you will find a job in a restaurant or a nursing home. You might find, because you have to be sponsored for a number of years.
Yeah.
I also understand now that to get residency in the UK it's now 10 years instead of 5 or 3 years. Don't quote me on that. But I know that it's increasing to 10 years.
Yeah, it's over the time. Like the rules are changing. There was a ballot visa, before, like you have to put your details over on that website, and over the time, I think it's a yearly process. They just lucky draw for the giving the free visas to the people, maybe over 4,000 or 3,000 people every year. They give the freebies out by drawing the lucky draws from the ballot visa kind of thing.
At the same time, you have to be eligible.
Yeah,
for
like
it.
I being 26 years old, there was a minimum age restrictions, and I have not completed any graduation, so I wasn't eligible for that program. Many people, they apply it on the basis of just a basic information that they have just done the high studies from the higher standard, but they haven't done any graduation, so they are not valid applicants for that.
It becomes very much more difficult if you've
That's
not
true.
got you're not graduated in something. I mean, the other avenue into going into another country is you work for a multinational in India or another company, and they assign you, and they become your sponsor, and they assign you to a position in the UK. That's another way to get in, because you've got an international sponsor or a local sponsor on the ground that will take you in. So I know people from India that are living in the UK at the moment because they've been sponsored and they're working for a multinational company that has affiliates in the UK and affiliates in India.
What do you think? It's better to move UK rather than staying in UAE, or better to find a good opportunities in Dubai or UAE?
Again, don't quote me on this, but I know that it's going to be a lot more difficult to get jobs in the UK. It's already becoming more difficult with policies. I think overall you're going to find it a lot easier to stay in the UAE and work here rather than getting a job abroad, because you have sponsors here. It's a very diverse culture, it's a diverse population, so that you can.
For example, the people working here in some specific companies and their original stores are in UK. So is there a way that they can find employers directly from there, or they can sponsor them to move there?
It depends on the company, and it depends what they are doing as well. So it is possible for somebody, like I know an Indian guy that worked in the UAE for many years in human resources, and he was assigned a position in Dallas in the US, but it came from the company, the multinational company, because there was a need for his caliber, there was a need for his expertise. But you have to be able to demonstrate that there is a need for this Indian person rather than somebody that's already on the ground.
Right now, the companies are more aware about choosing the perfect individuals for their companies rather than just randomly picking up the guys. Now they focus more on skills and more on the basic
skills and knowledge.
It matters here. Also,
experience.
when you go the interview here in UAE as well, they also practically check your basic skills, the communication, the way you do the work. They maintain the standards of the living. So
it's that as well. I mean, you got also to think is that because there is a lot of the countries in the world are thinking, right, if you come into our country, what can you do that one of our nationals can't do? Yeah. There's also lots of reoccurring problems like with unemployment. So if you get, for example, British people that are unemployed and they're complaining that somebody from outside the UK is getting their job, then it becomes not very harmonious. It's difficult to kind of go forward in that respect. And that's part of the reason, not the full reason, why the government is putting some of this legislation in place, because it's there to protect the culture, it's there to protect the nationals as well. Yeah.
So what exactly are the minimum expenses of living in UK as compared to here?
It's really difficult to say, because some things will cost more than others. So people, rent costs a lot of money here. It depends on the house, it depends on the area, it depends on the size of the house, it depends on a lot of things. Yeah. Food can often be more expensive here, but that's not in every case. Yeah. The other thing is that you've got to consider that in the UAE and Saudi, you're not paying income tax. Whereas in the UK, you're paying
I was about to ask this question, like how much percentage of tax you are paying there as compared to here?
Depends on how much salary you earn.
Oh, it depends upon the income? Yeah. Oh, I thought it's like fixed as per the Dubai as well.
No, so you don't pay income tax in Dubai. So the thing is that in the UK and in Italy and all across Europe and the United States, you're paying a percentage of your salary. It depends on how much salary you're earning, but you've got to consider a lot of costs, even in London. Income tax, the council tax, which is a yearly fee that you pay for, like the community, for lack of a better word, and then utilities and the bills and the food and the lifestyle. So it can end up to be living quite expensive, especially in London, where it is very expensive.
Okay. So the next question is, as per you, what are the advantages of moving to UK from other countries? Let's say if individuals are working here in Dubai, they have the plans to move UK. Do you think they're gonna have a benefit over working over here or not?
Again, it depends on what people like, because a lot of people from the UK like to move to Dubai and they don't want to move back.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of nationalities, even Canadians, UK, and many of the Russians. Europeans are settled here over like 12, 13 years. I don't know, maybe what they consider that they don't have to pay the taxes here, or maybe they like the weather here. I'm really not sure, because Dubai lifestyle is some kind of like luxury,
it's
kind of
more
thing.
luxurious,
But personally, whether I don't prefer here, like maybe you might like, because you see the snow there, you see the rains there, but like continuously seeing the hotness here in Dubai is not, like you get addicted to it, but also you should have some another weathers as well.
Yeah, I think, personally I would say I lived in Abu Dhabi for a couple of years, but I missed the real forests and the woods and the parks, the some of the culture as well, and I didn't miss the heat. I mean, because you've got to go from mall to mall or somewhere to somewhere, during the heat in Dubai. So I can't really say there's pros and cons for living in the UK. There's pros and cons for living in UAE.
So regularly, our people believe that when you marry a British person or British woman and they're in UK, so you got the permanent residency. Is that like true, or like how much is the time it's required? Like how many years it depends?
I don't know the timing, but what I would say is that you can, if you've got to be really careful with this, because you need to be really in love with that person and demonstrate that you're in love with that person, that the reason that you're marrying somebody is not just so that you get residency. I've seen a couple of cases where this has happened and it's fallen apart really badly. It's not landed in a good way, where people suddenly decide, right, I'm married now and now I can get divorced and now I'm living on my own. That's what I wanted to achieve. So this is on the radar a lot more. There has to be a lot of proof. I don't know the number of years, but there has to be evidence that there is, that there's a genuine, falling in love, and this is not for residency purposes. As I said, I've seen a couple of cases which have not landed very well.
Sure. So as you mentioned earlier also, like there is nurses jobs in UK. So what kind of criteria or eligibility do I need, or do people need to get into UK, or do I need employer to find for, or any agencies that they are hiring employees for that specific jobs?
So there are agencies. At the same time, the big criteria for nursing and care homes is that you have some healthcare experience outside the UK. Mm-hmm. It's really important. Whether you worked in a hospital or you've worked in another care home, or you've worked with elderly, if you've worked with these in this kind of healthcare environment, there is a chance. But I'm saying a chance, but it's not guaranteed, because now the UK is going to start looking at the proportion of UK nationals and the proportion of immigrants, let's say, that are coming and working in these nursing and care homes. So it will be a statistic at the end. But what helps is again, it's not a guarantee, is having some healthcare experience. And if you've got a qualification in medicine or nursing, then that helps as well.
Because if I'm entering the UK in illegal ways, I don't have the passport or any documentation, so they will not take me to the police station, or they will just leave me as it is, or is there any illegal or legal processes?
So it's changing at the moment. So there's more stringent processes being put on. There's more border control, a lot more border control. So even if you arrive illegally, let's say by boat. That's the most common way that people arrive illegally, or at the back of the van.
Yeah.
What's happening now is people are now watching all borders.
Yeah.
They're also putting up.
Even Trump has put more restrictions over the last few months, like more restrictions over the borders, crossing illegally.
Yeah.
One more question, and after we close up the interview, because he has a meeting, and then you're feeling hungry. We didn't eat before you came. Sorry for that. If I got the UK passport, will I be eligible to provide the other my other family members the citizenship of British or no?
No.
They also need to go through under circumstances or process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is now a big problem, because in the past it was possible. In the past it was possible to bring family members with you. Now it is not allowed to bring other family members, and just because you've got a UK passport, only you would have a UK passport, and your family members, siblings and parents would not have a UK passport. So it's becoming a lot more difficult to get a UK passport, and I said it takes roughly 10 years.
Yeah, that's true.
It changed from, as I said, it's changed from
like
3 or 5 to 10.
Implementing the laws.
Yeah,
there is. So if you like to try Indian food or UK, which one would you prefer?
UK. I don't eat spicy food.
Why not? There is a lot of restaurants in there.
Yeah, I don't eat spicy food.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah, and I don't eat spicy food.
Wow. Because it's a common thing, like Britishers, they can't handle the spicy foods. I kind of agree with that. So yeah, that was all about today's video. Thank you so much, William, for having a cup of tea with me, and you know, giving some knowledge to our viewers, so that they can be aware of about some circumstances, that if they are planning to move to UK, there is several different things that you need to consider. So that was all about today's video. Thank you so much for watching.
Very difficult, close to impossible.
See you in another video. Thank you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel.